We didn't need to worry. Panic not. We're back with the 4-3-1-2. Yay for us. And we're flying back up the league again. See, there was never a reason to worry. What were you worried about? Stop panicking. We're all fine. Yes. Hello and welcome to Season 14, Part 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Bristol Rovers and then away against Walsall, both in League One. Since you were last with me, League form has been okay. We have managed to get ourselves knocked out of the Checkatrade Stupid Nonsense Cup by also losing against Dartford. We had quite a good start in that competition, but then lost against Wimbledon and Dartford, so it obviously deserved to not be in it anymore. And we did manage to knock Tranmere out of the FA Cup with a second-string-ish team, Jordan Todd getting his first goal for the club. Blackpool beat us, which made me sad, but we stuffed Wigan, and we beat Bolton, which made me happier. There's ups and downs, but we're back doing what we do best. The league table doesn't look as depressing as it could do. We're 4 points off the top of the league with a game in hand. We could be top of the league by the end of this episode. Wouldn't that be ace? This is the team that we're going to be playing for today's game. So we've got Thompson in goal, a back four of Williams, Gabrielli, Roberts and Miller, with Duxbury, Cool and O'Brien in midfield, Opoku in behind, Foot and Garcia. We are slowly moving towards a settled team now. I think this is my best 11. I don't like the fact Aaron Cool is part of that best 11. That's definitely where we're going to be looking to strengthen in January, assuming we are in a position to strengthen in January. Positive, exciting transfer news. The retained transfer budget has gone up from 5%, which it was before, up to 60%, which is massive when you think that we've got Mark Foot potentially going for £10 million. We've got Roberts, who would be another £2-3 million. Garcia, I mean, that's his 14th goal in 14 games. He must be worth a few quid. We certainly don't want to sell him because he wants to stay at the club. But if Mark Foot's worth £10 million, how much must Garcia must be worth? He's scoring goals for fun. But we could potentially, if just Foot leaves for his asking price, we're going to have £6 million to spend in January, and we've still got about 100,000, okay, not 100,000, but maybe 60 or 70,000 pounds worth of wage budget left once Foot's been taken off that wage bill. We could buy a whole new League One team in January. I'm not going to. I would, if he did go, I would probably just look to bring in a defensive central midfield player and maybe another centre-back, and that would probably be all we need, I think. I think we probably have the basis of a perfectly adequate squad for this level. We shouldn't be messing around down in the playoffs the way we are at the moment, and it's just been inconsistency and messing around with tactics. But now we're going to be firm with the tactics, like we said yesterday, and we're just going to go and get promoted now. For goodness sake, Bristol, can you not hear me? I'm talking about how we're going to go and get promoted now, and you go and do blooming thing like that. This is exactly what Blackpool did to me. I was having this same conversation with myself off camera, and then Blackpool came back and... oh, it does make me cross. What's also... if I seem a little bit weird today, it's because I think I've got an ear infection. I'm not ill again. I'm still ill from last week. But this left ear is just completely blocked. I can't hear anything out of this side of my head. The side of my head hurts, and I can't really hear myself speaking. So I don't know if I'm talking really loud. I don't know if I'm talking differently to how I normally do. It's a very odd sensation trying to talk to camera and not really being able to hear what I'm saying. So there's every chance that this... it shouldn't be wacky and zany, but it should just... it might feel like it's not quite normal Kev. That's why it's not quite normal Kev. I'm not drunk or anything. I feel a little bit... feels a little bit like that. I feel very disorientated because I don't know. It's not on this side. Don't know why I'm pointing at that here. Why is it still 1-1? Why are we not even in the playoffs anymore? I thought we all agreed we'd be top of the league by the end of this episode. Oh, we are well and truly suffering from curse of the camera this season. We haven't had it for a little while, but it is back with a vengeance this season. We're going to bring on Jordan Todd. I don't think you've seen Jordan Todd yet. He's looked quite impressive in the odd appearance here and there that he's made. We're going to get fined for our yellow cards in this game as well. Our entire midfield is booked. How does that even happen? Oh, it's so frustrating. Remember, Jordan Todd is the one that I earmarked as the Mark Foot replacement. What? just happened? Goodness me, this is exactly what happened. That's this whole sitting down at the start of a free kick thing's becoming regular. I mean, that's just terrible. Terrible defending, poor goalkeeping. This is exactly the same shape of the game that we had against Blackpool off camera. Oh, it's so frustrating. Look at all those yellow cards as well. This is just ridiculous. I don't understand what's happening. Oh, right, you can go to an advanced playmaker. How? I mean, we're obviously going to get players sent off as well now. We might look like we might equalise for a minute, then get a red card. And it is beyond words sometimes. There is no way, not in a million years, am I ever going to switch to counter-attacking or defensive when I'm 1-0 up at half-time against a team like Bristol Rovers. It's just never going to happen. And if the game's expecting me to do that, the game needs to adjust and bend to my will, because that's not how I do things in real life. Against a team like Bristol Rovers, we're Ipswich, we are better than them. We would just keep attacking and we'd score 4 goals. And I'm just going to keep plugging away at it until the game gives up and lets me do it. It did exactly that with Southend. It did exactly that with Plymouth. It will let me do it with Ipswich as well. We just need to keep forcing it so it just gives up and lets me win. So, we're away against Walsall, who are top of the league. A normal person would go defensive, counter-attacking. No, we're not doing any of that. We're going to go there. We're going to play our game. We're going to attack. We made a couple of changes. Egbo comes in at right back because what's-his-face? Miller. There we go. He's injured. He's out for a month. And Egbo has just decided that he doesn't want to leave after all. It's still got him down as transfer listed by request and with a promise, but apparently he's now happy to stay, according to a media report. I'm a little bit confused, but he's back in the team on the basis that he no longer wants to leave, even though he might still. Gaivic comes into midfield. Lara comes in for a Poku as well, just to freshen things up a little bit in the midfield area. We did get a fine, £2,500 fine for failing to control our players in the last match. Well, we're not going to control them today either. Let's go out there and do football stuff. No, not challenge. It's not going to be tough. We're going to win the match. Yes, we've looked good in training. We're going to be ace. Let's just go and score lots of goals. That's got to be the target here. It is frustrating because if we'd have done the business against Bristol Rovers, we could be in a position where beating Walsall would put us top of the league. As it is, beating Walsall puts us firmly back in the playoff zone, which if we're hovering around the playoffs at the halfway point of the season, that's fine. This is the last game you lot are going to see before the January transfer window opens. Hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 fresh faces come in then. Now it's become very clear to me which parts of the squad need to be strengthened. The midfield. Some of you told me the midfield before the season started. I might not have listened because at the time we weren't going to be playing with a 3-man midfield and an attacking midfielder. So I didn't feel the need to have loads and loads of good midfielders. Gaivic is an example of a midfielder we've got who's got a lot of potential, who would have been fine as a coming off the bench every now and again, playing when he needs to kind of chap. But as it turns out, he's had to play a lot more games than I expected because of the fact that we've gone and stuck an extra body in midfield. Can't be helped, but we're going to sign a player now. Egbo, cross comes in. Lara was there but couldn't quite get a head on it. Roberts has been, beaten by a man turning so slowly. It was ridiculous. I don't quite understand how that's enough to beat our supposedly future Premier League centre-back. What is the world coming to? And Foot just misses out on the ball in midfield. Williams gets in with a decent tackle, and now Roberts to Gabrielli and Duxbury. And we're going to try and build from the back. Ball over the top to Foot, cross to Garcia. Garcia does the business again. 15 goals now so far this season. That's not a bad goal return. We're 1-0 up just before half-time against a team who are top of the league, and this will put us only 2 points behind them. Forget negativity. We're doing all right. We are still within touching distance. We've got transfers to come, and we're only going to get better going into the second half of the season as we get used to playing in this tactic. It's all going to be fine. We're still going to win the league. I've decided we will still win the league. Even if we now go on to lose this game, we will still win the league. That's how confident I am. And then we'll win the championship next year. It'll all be fine. We've got a good track record in League One, and that's going to continue this season. Egbo crosses to Duxbury, hits the post. And that would have been a rather pleasant time to double our advantage, put ourselves 2-0 up. was not to be, and Forest seemed to be pulling out a little bit of gap at the top of the league as it stands at the moment. It's only a 3-point gap. It's manageable, but where on earth have Forest come from? Walsall, man over, good save by Thompson, but we do need to be a little bit careful about these Walsall attacks. They've obviously got a little bit about them to be top of the league at almost the halfway point. They've also had more clear-cut chances than we have today. So as it stands at the moment, there's a mugging in progress, boys and girls. Agbow's coming off because he's been terrible. Lara's coming off because he's not been much better. Couple of fresh legs on. Let's see what Tholarp can do, charging up and down that right-hand side of the pitch. I'm almost tempted to take him off attacking because that'll be my one nod to doing something a little bit more defensive, and Mark Foot does double the advantage. It's only his 7th goal of the season. He's very much in the shadow of Garcia this season, but it doesn't matter because he still scores when it matters, and said matter too many times. It doesn't matter that matter again. Oh, I must have said that word 6 times in a minute there. That might be a new record. Don't say it anymore. Let's make that tactical change we were talking about. Kev does tactics, everybody. So here you go. This is my one nod to going slightly less attacking. We're going to make Tholarp support. There you go. We've adjusted our tactics. Hopefully that's enough to trick the match engine into thinking we're taking tactics seriously. Gajovic is coming off. Giovanni comes on. We've just got to see out these last 10 minutes without conceding 2 goals. Surely even we can do that, because if they are going to put themselves in a position to come and score 2 goals, they're going to leave space behind them. We've got the 2 best strikers in the league still on the pitch. We'll go and grab another goal. That's the Kev philosophy, and I'm sticking to it. Forest have just plummeted down the league again, so I guess they went from winning their game to losing it, which is fine by me because it means it's now just a 4-point gap between us and Cardiff. We've closed the gap on Walsall as well. We're pretty much where we were at the start of the episode. It's going to be one of those seasons, I think. Oh, Posh have sacked their manager. Interesting. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.